All right, guys, I have a really hard question
What?
for you. Is it okay, or should you tell your partner if he or she is getting fat?
Ooh, good question.
Loaded.
This is a really loaded question because, you know, I'm in a relationship, been in a relationship for a really long time. My partner works out all the time. He's very health conscious. So I've never had to address this head on, but I do know some friends of mine who have had to address this and don't really know what to do. So you're like a relationship expert person here.
Thank you.
I want to start this off.
Too many of them.
I want to start this off with you first.
Well, first of all, how many times do you think you've been in love? I just want to know.
Dos.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
First of all, rule number one, no matter what, you never use the F word. You never actually say fat.
That's not the way you approach it.
Got it.
Number two, I don't think you should right off the bat make it about you. And if you're not feeling attracted to that person because they're getting fat, that's why you're bringing it up. You have to make it about them. Before you guys got into a relationship, they probably communicated what their goals were. So you want to hold them accountable to the goals that they've wanted. So if you think that they're not living up to their own standard, that's the conversation you should have. But if from the beginning they were like, I don't give an F about my body and I want to eat chicken wings every day, then it's kind of really not up to you to change their mentality.
Yeah, I totally agree. But if I'm in a relationship with someone, especially long term, and their physique is a certain way for that whole time, and then all of a sudden they start putting on weight, there's a sign that something isn't normal, right? It's not like, oh, I've just decided to get bigger because I'm feeling myself.
Yeah.
There's some sort of like emotional stress, work issues, relationship issues, and I'm going to address that and go, listen, this isn't how you operated before, and I don't know if it's healthy for you to be eating like this or living your life like this, because it affects you and it affects me and our relationship together.
So you're definitely saying the specific scenario where you signed up for one partner and then a few years later you got a different one.
Well, and it could be too, after you get comfortable with one person, maybe you'd always been working out and eating healthy because you were really trying to find the one, and then maybe if you find the one,
You
you're
let
like,
yourself
I
go.
already got it. Because a lot of people from my high school get worse and worse looking, where I feel like a lot of people in
They're
Hollywood.
not watching.
A lot of people in Hollywood,
kidding.
they
Name some
only
names,
get better
name some
looking.
names.
I'm not kidding.
We
Like,
made him say that.
Joseph, Dane.
Who's like, are they watching? If you're scrolling through, I don't think any of the people from my high school even know who I am. No, I'm kidding. They know who I am, but I don't know if they're following my post high school
okay.
life, because I'm not very active on Facebook. I just haven't even posted it in months because I don't
Defend
know.
yourself more.
But anyways, I just feel like if that person then lets themselves go because they're comfortable, it's a different conversation. Like, what else could you be doing this for besides just me? Maybe yourself, or maybe because you love yourself?
But do you think that many people are really going and maintaining a good body just because of the other sex? Like, or not necessarily the other sex, but just because they're trying to find a partner?
Right.
Because I would think, no, rarely is someone going to put that much time and effort into something just for someone else.
I think it's
Are
very
you kidding
overall.
me? To find a sexual partner is like the main reason most people do anything in their 20s.
And not only a sexual
That's just me.
partner, just jobs, friends, social media. People
But
are...
so then I'm saying, then
I
you
agree
wouldn't
with you,
suddenly
though.
get a boyfriend and be like, well, got it, done.
No, but when you get the ring
no.
on your finger and you marry, I do feel like a lot of married couples let themselves go because they're like, okay, I'm in a full-time contract. We're in it.
I think a lot of the time, maybe they simultaneously let themselves go.
Yes.
Rarely are you, I mean, I don't think you're going to be in a relationship that often that if someone so drastically like was letting themselves go, and that means they're changing their lifestyle. That doesn't mean they just suddenly gained weight one day.
Well,
that
two
means
things.
maybe
I
they
think-
aren't going to the gym. Maybe something has changed.
Well,
like
you get
said.
older and your metabolism slows down. And also, if you're a woman and you have kids, now you've packed on a bunch of weight. So
Yeah, where do you draw the line?
Well, there's obviously different circumstances. If you're going to your wife and saying she's fat because she literally just had a baby, then you're an asshole.
you are an asshole.
But a lot of people have a gray area of just had the baby. Like
when's the
like, 'cause
time?
I have friends who have like 5-year-olds who are like, I can't get rid of the baby fat.
I'm
I'm
like,
like,
girl, that's just fat.
you've had this for 5 years?
I mean,
And then there's
also-
Sinead, who had a baby and at 9 months pregnant still looked like a supermodel.
Yeah, or she works here and nobody even knew for the
know.
longest time. But also, I think getting fat, or however you want to put it, could happen over time. So I think if your partner's eating habits drastically change, or they're no longer eating how they used to, it's a conversation you need to have sooner rather than later.
Right.
Because you're like, if it's just like every Friday's a cheat day, and then it's every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, every day becomes a cheat day.
Is this an intervention on my life right now?
I was gonna say, I know a lot of friends that one thing that people do when they're dating is going out to eat.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people do get in a relationship and that's what they do. Their
called
thing
love
is to
towns.
go. Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's why, like, I like to be like, can we go somewhere where there's a kale salad,
Right.
you know, and then you can still go out and eat with somebody, but you're not essentially just eating fried chicken all day, every day.
But look, back to the original question. Should you tell someone? I think if your attraction to them is being impacted, then it is a conversation you should have. It's how you have it that really matters.
Yeah.
And I really do think you should remove yourself from the equation. And
Even if it's about yourself.
even if it is about, of course.
It's all a masquerade. You're not really telling them the truth.
It's always a game.
But I do kind of agree with you. It is about how you approach the conversation and the topic, and there's a way to say it and there's a way not to say it. And as long as you come from a place of love,
Right.
I think no matter what you say, it'll be okay as long as you're lovingly saying it.
Ooh, I just thought of a good line. To say, I want you to be your best you, and I want me to be my best me. And then invite criticism. If I'm not holding up my best version of myself, let me know. And at the same time, I think there are some things we should talk about our lifestyle choices right now.
If you don't want to be so direct about it, you can be like, oh, I just found this great fitness center. You should join too. Let's go
no.
together.
That's my husband's approach.
I don't know. I feel like both of those would be very uncomfortable.
husband
It's
will-
going to be an uncomfortable scenario regardless.
Yeah, my husband will be like, so I'm gonna go to the gym. You want to come with me?
I've seen your Snapchats where your husband's making you work out and you're just crying the
I
whole
know.
time.
He's like, so babe, I'm going to the gym. You should come. I'm
You're
like
like,
spending
"Hey,
time
guys,
with you. And I'm like,
like,
we never spend time together at the gym. He's like, I'd like to spend some time with you. Let's go to the gym. And I'm
The
like,
car ride's gonna be great, Erin.
see you. I get it. Or he'll be like, maybe we should eat like, I don't know, salads tonight. And
No,
I'm like,
I don't like the passive aggressive thing because then I think you're calling me fat.
Yeah, you gotta be upfront. I guess you're right.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Works
I
for
mean,
me.
regardless, you're calling them fat.
But would you tell a friend? Would you tell a friend, or is that over the
friend?
limit? I'm just like, that's a sub question.
You know, I think it depends on how close you are to that friend and how much that friend actually takes advice generally.
Yeah.
If they're a person who doesn't really like
Right.
advice from you or other people, I feel like they're not going to take advice well when it comes to their
You
weight.
gotta find the right window because generally people don't like unsolicited advice. But the day
and-
that they create a space for it, what?
Well, and if someone's like generally a very happy person, but they have a few extra pounds, and then someone goes up to them and like tells them they're fat, just because that person doesn't
Right.
think that it's
Yeah.
like that they wouldn't want to look like that, that's not really up to you.
Yeah.
That's
I
true
agree.
because
Like a
how you
relationship,
perceive things are very different.
you're part of something. There's things to uphold on both sides.
And
But
you're
if
also
you're a
not
friend,
attracted
like,
to your friends, you know?
exactly.
It's not a
If
sexual
you
thing.
You're not?
think your friend,
This whole time, that's what we've been. You've been attracted to me. You never told me.
shoot!
Thank God for Clevver. I'm so glad we're having this conversation now before I go to Italy next week and
oh
eat
God, we just eat all the
food.
pasta.
No,
Yeah,
eat it
we're
all.
all going.
Yeah, your husband's gonna have this
I'm gonna write
conversation
this
with you
down.
after.
Remember it later.
But I do want to know what all of you guys think about this awkward situation in the comment section below. Let me know, and all of us know, how you would go about this situation,
Or how
if
it's
you,
been done to you.
or
Ooh.
how you've done it to somebody else, or how you're going to do it this weekend after you saw this video and now have the courage to do so. Let us know in the comment section below. But wait, this video, it continues just on a different video. So click over to the left to get all of the details on the Mandela effect.
Or to the right to find out who will Taylor Swift write about next in her new album.